and I graduated from Shriram College of Commerce. And yeah, and then in the later half of my graduation, I tilted towards computer science, and I opted and prepared for my computer applications entrance exam, that is MCA. And then I got into this college which is known as Madan Mohan Malviya University of Technology. It's based out in Gorakhpur, and I completed my MCA from there. And then thereafter, there has been, you can say, a sequence of corporate, run where I've been working in different roles. I started my career as a developer, where we were developing enterprise applications. And then later on, in different domains, played the same role in different domains, started as a application developer, and then played the role of architect, and then played the role of senior architect, then played the role of project manager, senior project manager, and over a period of time, yeah. And then currently I'm leading multiple programs, which are delivery programs across the globe. So they are all different types of implementation or creation of applications, AI, stuff like that. That's it, nothing much.
That's really great to know. I bet these guys do have a lot of questions from you.
Definitely, yeah,
And
that's
yes, Abhay, I think you do have a question for
yeah. It will be
Atharva.
great if you can also introduce yourself, because I don't know you guys.
Yes, I think let us start with an introduction. I myself
Correct.
have not given my introduction, so I'll start with myself. So, in which, sir, my name is Vanshika Sahu, and basically I'm based out of Bhopal itself. I do have an experience of around 5.5 years, not too much. And right now I am working with Sarvarth and especially into WPCOE program as a director of WPCOE labs. So I'm working very closely with WPCOE students and how we are going to take it ahead, the projection. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm working very closely with them. How are we going to go ahead and what are we expecting out of this? I'm sorry, I'm at a little bit crowded place. So I think Abhay and Atharva will go ahead and yeah.
So, hi Rishabh. My name is Abhay Shukla, and basically I'm from Jabalpur, and I'm pursuing MBA in IT from Sarvarth, from the WPCO program itself. Sorry, I am fond of web development, and I love to do coding itself. So it is great to be a part of this webinar because you have a lot of experience in web development. So it will be a great seminar, I guess. Thank you.
Okay, so now, first of all, thank you, Inwish, for this amazing seminar you are conducting for us. And I'm start with my introduction. My name is Atharva Joshi. I am native from Solapur, Maharashtra. Recently, I am pursuing my MBA at WPCOE, which is sponsored by Sarvarth IT company. And when I'm talking about my past academics and experiences, I have completed my graduation in BCA from Solapur, Maharashtra itself. And afterwards, I have completed my MCA in Pune, Maharashtra. And for at WPCE, I am working as a QA analyst on the partial role of project UiPath. And at WPCE, I am very happy to see you here. So this is my short introduction about myself.
Great, great. Thank you. Yeah, great. Good, very good, very good, very good. Great. So you guys mentioned you were both doing MBA, right?
Yes.
In the same field, IT or?
Yes. Yes, in the
Yes,
IT.
Champion.
Great. Very good. So, before I jump into, what I want to maybe talk on, you have, questions around certain topics that, so the thing I want to talk about or discuss today, the topic.
Yeah, it's all about the fast changing importance of AI in the fast changing world. and the usage.
Yes, that is our today's agenda of topic.
Correct. So, so there are two things, one is, I don't know how well you are conversant with the topic itself. That's number one. Yeah. So if you can let me know one by one, what do you know? What's your perception? What's your opinion about this? Yeah. And that will be great help for me to understand what do you know about it, and I will, be able to take it forward thereafter, right? So, Athar, maybe if you can start with what's your opinion? What do you understand when you hear this? Because you're already working, so you must be hearing this day in, day out, right? What's going on with this, and things are changing around quite fast, right? So, what do you know, and what's your understanding of it?
Uh, I don't know in the deeper mind, but at the high orientation, I just want to say that AI is artificial intelligence, and this is the need of the current today's era. And in the AI, there are so many modular structures are there, and it will work on each and every field from the manufacturing to the automobiles. And in my current field, which is in testing, the AI plays a very crucial role for writing the workflows, for implementation and execution of test
Yeah.
cases. There are so many automation tools or RPA tools are in the market, like robotic process automation. When we talk about my recent project, which is on UiPath, and over there I have working on the UiPath Studio. And in this, I will using the UiPath Studio with the robotic process automation to implement the test cases. So at end of my perspective, AI is very crucial and it plays very important role in today's era.
Yeah,
So
great,
that's
great.
it, my basic opinion and a basic overview about the AI. And there are so many things, but I just little bit make it in a simpler way.
Good. Abhay, what's your opinion?
So as Atul said that AI is changing everything. It's like it's giving us the same code or same thing in just a minimal time. So as I'm a developer, or I used to do coding in the to develop websites and all. So it's like 60 to 70% of my work is being done by AI today. The rest of the work, which is like to just to give him the prompts and all, it's like this only. So for me, AI has changed us our thinking to smartly. Like if I am designing a website, AI is just give it a touch of that thing, like in a smartly way. That's what I think about AI.
So, can you also let me know what tools are you using in the to this world? What tools are you know on which
In
is you're using?
the current
Yeah,
era or in the current world, we are using the generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, then Black Box AI. Black Box AI is very famous for developmental, what we can say, developmental analysis and all. And for prompting and all, ChatGPT and Gemini is very, they plays very crucial role for analysis of the data, analysis of the company, and anything which we given to them. So
correct.
generative AI plays a
Generative
very
AI.
important role.
Very good,
Exactly.
very good. Abhay, you use any other tools, or you also use the same?
Uh, so I use Claude maybe sometimes. Claude is like Claude AI.
Claude.
If
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
Claude, I use Claude, and then Lovable is there also.
Mhm.
Lovable, Figma. These are the AIs which usually help me to build the base of the code. But I
Great,
use
great,
it
good.
in a minimal way. I don't use like that. I'm
Hmm.
using it in a daily
For
basis,
prompts, right?
just
Prompts,
for
mostly
prompts.
prompts. Yeah. Right,
Right.
right. So you guys, do you have opinion? What is the fundamental basis of this AI thing, without which this cannot be happening, without which this is not possible at all?
I
Any
think
idea?
prompt engineering is one of the best way to implement and use that AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So prompt engineering is as you mentioned, is definitely one way of to use it. So what I'm saying is AI itself has a basis, yeah, or concept, without which AI itself is not possible. Can you
AI comes
highlight some
with
of those
the
features?
So
yes, AI
LLM.
comes.
It's
Yes.
a LLM.
Right?
It's a large.
LLM.
Yes, it's a
LLM.
large. Uh, yes, it's
AI comes
LLM.
with the machine learning models, then
Mm-hmm.
AI
Mm-hmm.
comes with the neural networks,
Yeah.
then some of the part of deep learning is involved in this. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the
Mm-hmm.
core architecture of AI, where AI
Mm-hmm.
based on this kind of frameworks. By using these kinds of frameworks, it will runs. And there are so many algorithms is also used
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make it and to think that AI.
Yeah. So one thing that I would say is what you guys highlighted is learning. Yeah, is
Learning.
one fundamental thing. Yeah. So as a human, we also learn, right? So the simplest thing is, if you go over a task, say you have been asked to create a report, prepare a report, whether in Excel or whether create a code to write a report, right? You do it once, right? You do it twice, then you learn. This is like, and as you learn, and you do the same task again, so your efficiency, might improve. It's okay. It took me 10 hours to do that first time, but oh, I have a template already ready. My mind knows where to find what and just create the formulas, and it might take only 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah. So it's a tendency, as anything, learns, the efficiency can improve over a period of time, yeah, of doing the same task without changing any parameters which might influence it, okay, in a stable environment, correct? So learning is fundamental thing, yeah, that is learning, which is very fundamental, right? And other thing is which is another fundamental thing is data. Yeah, without which, because I'm talking about in the context of AI, right? Without data, yeah, nothing would be possible. Yeah, so you have data about things been done, things been carried out, things been, worked out, and you're capturing that data. That data becomes a fundamental source of learning for these anything that you're talking about, LLM, whatever, yeah, anything. So it's a fundamental basis is data. So without data, nothing would be possible. Yeah. So this data is being captured by, millions of applications which are working around the world, how they are working, and the data is being structured and then been used to create patterns. And these patterns are what I'm talking about, you're learning. Yeah. And these patterns have been fed, and these patterns know how to perform a job much easier, much faster, whatever, yeah. And just without thinking about it again and again, right? So this is a fundamental thing. The data is very important. Yeah. Without data, you cannot, create anything like this. Yeah. So you have to, even if you want to adopt a model, nowadays you're talking about Claude, you want to train a model, you want to, you need data to understand that. Yeah. And so the applications that we talk about, in today's world, and the architects of those applications, they are very much aware of that. So since the inception, they create this thing, make this thing in the application itself, that we need to capture these data so that they can take that data, once the application gets used, right, and start to create a meaningful pattern out of that, whether using, so earlier there was people were not using models, people were using, BI, business intelligence or stuff like that, and using Excel, stuff like that, but it was also not possible unless you have data, right? So you created data and you created those manual algorithms and stuff like that, and created insights. But now you have a complete component, which is these algorithms. You put them in and you train yet algorithms using this data, and then you can ask them questions, you can get insights, whatever you want, right? So this is how this entire thing is working. So learning is very important, and I think this data is there, which is, I think, the most important thing. The quality of data also determines, how well your system algorithms will give you the response, the quality of output. It will not be like, you can give them a, garbage data and you'll expect some good quality. So it's exactly like that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We are
so
agree.
yeah,
Agree with you.
so
Agree with you.
you can also share, your opinions on this entire thing, if Have you done any projects in this regard where you or you're doing something where you say, okay, you see something like data being captured and being used for creating insights?
Uh, no, actually, we haven't done any project on this, but we have an overview and all the idea regarding to this, how it will works and all. And I think what you told earlier, I think this is a part of data analytics where we are extracting the useful and insightful data from the large amount of data sets. And we are working on that data by using the ETL process where extractions,
Mhm.
transformation, and load.
Yeah.
And through this process, we are getting the good output when we are going to implement the right algorithm on that right data. So I think that good outcome is depend upon the good quality of data, right? So this is my overview about the data and all.
Okay. 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 But yeah, so as I mentioned, the architects are well aware now, yeah, and they know, what data to capture. So everything is built in the applications now, right? So earlier, there was times when logs, web logs, multiple levels logs were used, where HTTP requests, if you guys know, I don't know, the
Yes,
request which
actually.
comes to your it comes to your application were being intercepted, and you need to capture the details from that request itself, right? And then those data were also used to count the number of requests coming to your app, yeah? Just to get how much load is there, what kind of people are accessing it, what promotional campaigns have been used to access it. So it's a fundamental basis, yeah, capturing the data. But now, because people know we can actually derive multiple and complex activities using this, like just to give you an example, applications, they are normally sold on subscription models. You know the subscription models, or you
Right.
guys know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to
Yes, yes.
subscribe to a model, whether I pay $20, $30, or what is the scheme for me, right? And based on that, I will get some more value or some more features enabled for me, or the usage period may be enhanced for me, stuff like that, right? So because so applications, they need to track, which user stands in which category, so that they can charge them accordingly. Simple, right?
Right.
So I might be having tier one, subscription, but okay, my usage is exceeding and say going to tier two. So they will come back to me, say, okay, our application knows it. Yeah, and you need to pay for accordingly like that. Just to give you an example, right? So this is now getting built into applications which are being hosted in SaaS cloud, right? So they are tracking and they are charging as well based on that. Yeah. So data is playing a very active role everywhere now, right? Great, great, good, very good. So the next thing is, how much or what tools. So let's talk about, say, specifically ChatGPT. Yeah. How are you guys using it in your day-to-day job, and how it's helping you out?
We
Likewise,
are
sir.
using ChatGPT for improving our logical skills, to improve our
Yeah, yeah.
logic, to implement the workflows, to carry out the crucial operations in the testing, and for
So give
some
me an
of the
example.
integrations.
Give me an example.
Actually, what I am going to talk, this is a real-time example which
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
really work.
yeah, 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 that's fine. Yeah, so
So,
yeah, how do you use it in to prove your say testing that you mentioned, for example?
for example, recently I have done the integration of APM server and APM server Android SDK with UiPath. For that, I have used the Gemini, which is a free subscription is there for Gemini. So I have
Okay.
used that one, and it gives me the unlimited prompt to make the operations, and I have used that. And when I'm talking about the all about the uses, so I have given the correct prompt and correct whatever implementation of operations I have given to the Gemini, and accordingly it will guided me how to make a steps and all, and accordingly I will did in my workflow, and it will success.
Okay, so you're getting basically instructions from Gemini so that how to
Yes,
do it, right? Okay, okay,
yes.
that's a good one. Anything else?
Yeah, so as you asked how we are using and how AI is evolving us. So
Yeah.
just like that, Athav has said, we are using it in a daily basis for the logical buildings, right? And for the like, if I am stuck somewhere and I
Okay.
used
Yeah.
all my knowledge to get out from that thing, but at a
Okay.
point we feel like let's go to ChatGPT and then ask him why are we suffering from this? This is
Uh-huh.
what happening. We just do we just give our time. Actually, I do this. I just give my whole time that I could find it by myself. But if I can't
Mhm.
find it, then I go to ChatGPT or Gemini or AI
Mhm.
to find that error or the things. That is
Right,
what I
right,
use. Yeah.
right, 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 right. So, have any of you used it for generation of test cases as well?
Not exactly, but we get high level orientation from this.
Okay, okay. So, so just to let you know, there are tools. If you guys know there is a requirement that needs to be developed into a, software component, right? Yeah, normally like that. So, so one aspect is the requirement itself. If you can create a, input to the GPTs or Geminis, whatever, right? You can also refine the requirement itself. Yeah. And by refining the requirement, what I mean is you can create acceptance criteria of that requirement. Yeah. Because normally, a requirement is very abstract and it might not be specific unless it is guided by acceptance criteria. You know, the person is not saying, it must do this four things, right? And just written, okay, create this box which does this and all that, right? So there will be so much time spent in question and answer and understanding what is the opinion, what is the perspective of the person who wants to get it developed. Yeah. How it should look like is another area. We'll come to that. Yeah. But what needs to be done is mostly defined by these boundaries, which are called acceptance criteria, right? So you can refine the requirement itself, the starting point itself, and say to define the acceptance criteria. And it will use all its learning, of the similar kind of stories to give that. Yeah? So be aware whenever you are using these tools, it will always use the data it has to give you the output, right?
Right.
It does not have any intelligence, just to tell you that. It is not using. There are specific models which are adaptive intelligence, yeah, which has. Otherwise, most of the LMs, they just have this data which has been trained on, and they will use the data to give you the answer, right? This is the difference, yeah. You must know that. So, but you can use it because if thousands of people, lakhs of people have used it, so you can refine your requirement itself, yeah. And the fundamental thing you can ask is what are the assumptions in this requirement that I need to know before I go and jump into development, do that, like that, right? So you are well prepared to understand the requirement itself, which becomes a very good source of, creating a, software acceptance criteria, so the starting point itself get, improved so that, you later on, you are not suffering with issues, defects, expectations not met, and acceptance criteria, stuff like that. You can comprehensively develop itself, right? That's one part of it, right? The other part is, when the requirement has, the one you mentioned was mostly an integration thing. So not necessarily a UI is supposed to be developed, right? Mostly talking to APIs, right? But say a UI needs to be developed. It is actually the most fuzzy part of the requirement development because most of the people, oh, this doesn't look good to me. This is not intuitive itself. This thing is not right. You put it here, put it that, right? So you can use these tools to create multiple iterations of the requirement UIs itself.
Yeah.
Give it a different perspective, give it a persona, like say, so you guys know there is an application which is supposed to be used by an end user, right? Any application, right? If you're creating, say, an e-commerce, right? It has to be used by, some people who will buy, do shopping, but those people can belong to different segments or demographies, young, old, middle-aged, women, men, right? Right? And but capturing that demography and feeding that in will give you perspective from the perspective of say a teenager, how the UI should be intuitive, what should it capture, yeah, and that can give you insights into creating the requirement, yeah. And you can then feed, okay, if a user has to be a middle-aged person or say an old and a middle-aged, what more will be more important for them to use this application? Because they won't be fast, they will be bit slower than the younger generations. Yeah, just to give an example, right? Their choices might be different, their other nuances might be different, right? So but the point is important is this can be very comprehensively used to enhance your requirements and your understanding of the requirements. It's not your ability, you can say the complete team's understanding of the requirements itself, yeah. That becomes a fundamental thing. You can try and use it, discuss in your teams and say, okay, if we have not been, we can give it a try and see if it brings any value to us where we can actually increase our efficiency, because most of the time gets spent in these areas, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand, I might have so many questions, the person is not available to answer your questions, yeah. So yeah, so just try to see, yeah, challenge, so it becomes a sparring partner, yeah. But to for it to become a sparring partner, it should know the concept of personas, that who is expected to use it, yeah? Who is the person, and what, if you can give it more specific information about that, so that context goes to the LLM, yeah. And then whatever searches it does, they're refined by that context. It's not a Google search, it becomes a very filtered search based on the context that you give. The area becomes very narrow, and then you get those results which are really close to your expectations, I would say, and it improves on that, yeah. So that could be very good area, when when you start coding, yeah. It's really important, right? And then a very interesting area, I don't know how much you guys are involved in, but is defining the architecture of an application, yeah, or defining the design of the software components, right? Define the interaction perspective, deployment perspective, all those areas, how, yeah. So this can be definitely used for creating those perspective, because as a developer in a bigger team, sometimes you are in an organization where these jobs are done by different people, yeah. So you are part of one team, but you never know what will happen to the deployment, how the deployment servers will look like. And you're just, okay, I will write my web development and it's done. It will be deployed by someone, right? I will just check in my code, commit it, and fire and forget, right? And someone is there to take care of it, and someone is there in the testing team to do testing of it, yeah, stuff like that, right? So, so now another important thing, at this point of time, because of these tools, in my opinion, what I see this skill aspect converging going forward. Specialization probably will go down, and a person who knows these things, and can work in different aspects of software development with these tools will be very much in demand. You're trying to get what I'm to say?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
because, yeah,
Evolve with AI. You are saying that.
exactly. So the convergence will start taking place over a period of time, especially in software development, right? When so these silos will go away for sure. Development sends to testing sends to deployment and all that infrastructure thing. Oh no. So there will be some convergence we already start seeing, and it will be getting more and more, as you see, because these tools are getting really intelligent in doing different tasks. You must have heard of this thing called agents now, right? Agentic AI. Heard of
Agentic
it?
AI.
Yes,
Yeah,
agentic AI.
Okay, okay. So these agents are now going to be your friends in your
Yes.
offices very soon, where you
Yes.
say, okay, there's an agent to deploy the code. There's a no agent to run the integration testing. There's an agent to do the performance testing, and there's an agent which will orchestrate or coordinate everything for a developer, right? So yeah, so that's what I meant. When say the software teams will evolve in a very different way now. It is a path. It is a journey. Yeah, but it will happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen a day or two, but it is a path which has already started, and you will see that happening over a period of time. Our smartness is how well we know these tools in these areas, how we can utilize the power of these tools in these areas to enhance our understanding of these. Say, just I just took one topic which was requirements and stuff like that. The other could be architecture. I just told you about that, right? Third, you already know is generation of the code, right? Yeah, about cursor, lovable, about code assist. Thousands of tools now they are coming up. Startups are coming up. Everyone has it. Yeah. So you can actually start writing code, and they will keep on helping you complete the code for you. Yeah.
Actually, when we code in VS Code, the Copilot is there to
Yeah.
help you
Copilot.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So sorry, you just write a function, passes the parameters, state, okay, I want this to do this. It create a logic for you. Just test it. Yeah. So that's one of that, right? The other is this is one level which is assistance. It's called code assistance, right? The other level is even at a different level. Yeah. And what is that? You just write a prompt. You don't go to write a code function, right? Write a prompt. I want to create a function which does this sorting, which does this summarization, which creates table, blah, 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 and yeah, and creates a code for you. And you have a code ready, and you can play with the code, based on that. Yeah. So this is another level. So, but both of them will have different uses in different areas. Yeah. So, for example, the code assist one, where you are working on a bigger project, yeah, and you say you have multiple requirements you need to develop, and already there is a framework that's been used to develop it. You say, okay, I will write a new function and get it tested by again AI testing, and you ask them to generate a unit test for that or something like that, and they will generate it, right? So it is already learning your existing repository from the existing repository. Yeah. What kind of code has been written there? What kind of comments are there? What kind of variables you are using and all that. It is learning from your existing repository and giving you comments on that, right? On the top of it, right? That is all assistance. But say someone comes to you and say, okay, I want a POC to be developed in one day to test the viability of this kind of requirement, where you don't have all the time. Yeah. So you can go into the other mode and say, okay, I'll start doing something like that and figure out if there is a way to do that. You become smart and say, okay, I'll start writing the prompts for that. Right? So both will have uses, but in different areas. Yeah. But the common thread in all this, right from requirements to testing to code generation and other areas, is one thing. uh, these tools will always be there as an assistance. Yeah. So they will be your assistants, and they will help you in the entire SDLC, right? It is your pragmatic, understanding of these tools, how well we should use them, what is our understanding, because each of these tools comes with lot of functionality, lot of areas. So how much you know them, they will be able to help you in those areas. And also, as I mentioned, different perspective of using them, whether you want to run a POC, whether you want to actually work in a big homegrown framework kind of thing where already a lot of stuff is there, you just want to do quick POCs, spikes. So there will be a different perspective to that, right? So just to give you perspective, these tools are also evolving.
Yeah, actually, recently, education perspective has also came. Like, and ChatGPT recent update, it's
Yeah,
like study mode.
yeah,
If I say ChatGPT to teach me,
yeah,
he is now
yeah,
your teacher.
Exactly. So these, so the importance is, these tools will, become better over a period of time. Learning from your usage, they will improve, and their coverage will also improve. The kind of services they are providing to you at this point of time will be way different from the services they will provide you in a 2 years time. There will be, I don't know how many more things will be added there, right? Because they are also learning from your usage. Yeah, you've allowed them to learn, right? So they now know, now like, people need me for generating test cases. People need me for requirements. People need me for, code generation. People need me for, whatever tasks, deployment, this. So they're also improving their accuracy, and they're also improving their coverage in terms of the span of services that they're going to provide you. Yeah. So as a developer, you will get lot more help from them over a period of time, right? So if you are a good developer with these kind of powerful tools, you will be able to roll out something much faster with a better quality. Yeah. Because you will have an opinion of someone at your disposal about your code, about your deployments, about your testing, everything. So it will, so that's where, I said, it will converge. The speeds will get much faster. The expectations of the customers will be much higher. Yeah. Because something which you are telling them, okay, it will take 10 days, 20 days, it will go down, right? It will definitely go down, right? And because you have those powerful tools now at your hand, right? And they will be getting more powerful going forward, right? So
Right.
that's one perspective. The other perspective is, the usage of these tools in our daily, life. So Atharv, you have a question, yeah? You want to comment or
So
question?
we already talked about what is generative AI and what is importance of it, how it helps to reduce the time complexities. But my question is that what is your perspective and on narrow AI? Because this is another kind of AI, right? Narrow AI. Like generative AI is one of the part of AI. But what
Okay,
about
so
narrow AI? We just heard about that, and we just know that this is a high orientation of AI, but we didn't know how it actually works and all. So, do you have any something to talk about this?
so
Like,
I don't know about this particular term, but what I can tell you is generative AI is only one part of AI. AI is a very big umbrella, right? And generative AI is, so I guess you know the meaning of generative AI, right? Algorithm uses the context and uses the previous words which is finds in the search to generate the next one. Yeah, it's a probability algorithm. You getting it?
yes, there
So
are
the
reference
probability of
models
guessing
used.
the next words that
Yes.
they give you in the answer depends upon what comes earlier, right? So it's generating that, and all of that is been based on the data that they have learned across the world from Wikipedia, from different repositories, stuff like that, right? Yeah. But artificial intelligence is a very big thing. Yeah. It's a very big umbrella of that. Yeah. And in that span also, I see a lot of things changing and a lot of new things coming out. So I will not talk about specifically machine learning or other algorithms, but this is what I see. It's only a one part of it. And why? And but the important thing is artificial intelligence has been there, I think, since I don't know, century or something. I don't know. It was there. It was taught as well in the universities, but because of the ease of use, these models or chat GPTs, the way they become easily accessible, they become easily usable, that we are much aware now, right? That we are all using it, right? Earlier, it was only considered as machine learning. Yeah. But because they have, encapsulated them into very nice wrappers and created a chat on it where you can write human readable text and say, okay, and you get an output. So because of the ease of use, it becomes easily, so that's why also we are very much aware of it. Yeah. If would have been like the same earlier, still I would feel it would not be much accepted in masses. It is popular in masses because they've taken to the very ground level and ease of use. Even in the phones, while you're speaking, you can get an opinion from AI, right? Yeah, you can ask them which path I should take, A or B, and why. So just to give an example, so last month I was planning a trip to Missouri, and there was so many news of rain and landslides stuff like. I asked, okay, keeping the current weather conditions, you know, what what's your advice whether I should travel in these dates or not? What could be the risks? What could be the alternate destinations? So in that case, it goes through that multiple iterations, collecting the data and understanding, and get the data from weather, get the data from news, and synthesize it together and say, okay, it is not advisable because of these reasons. The risk of similar events happening is there is a probability of similar events happening in the towards world, right? So this is the other part where in our daily usage, these components will get integrated. So you already have them integrated, I would not say, but they will get much more integrated. So one is in your phones you already have, right? So earlier you used to do some Google search and say, okay, what are the probable places to go, and it usually gives you only the URLs and the links in there. But now you have an AI mode, and it's okay. It gives you a complete explanation for that, and much less time, much easier. You can say, okay, I can take a decision and say, okay, which way to go, right? So other example I would like to give from the usage perspective is so normally in festivals, yeah, all these e-commerce portals, Flipkart, Agio, and whatever, Amazon, they come with their discounts. Yeah. And sometimes you find, okay, a similar product is available on Agio, Flipkart, and here. And you go to Flipkart, it's okay, what's the offer on this? What's Agio, what's the offer on what is the offer on this, right? Yeah. And now you go to ChatGPT and say, okay, I want to buy a Reebok shoe, which is best for running. My budget is this much. Give me the best deal available in these, and it will do everything for you, and it will give you the decision in hand. Okay, I would suggest to go for this because the reviews for this shoe is better and it's available at 70% discount on this. So so as a user also, I'm talking about the usage perspective. So as a user also, your life is getting influenced by it at every
Yeah.
stage, but that also depends upon how much of you are using it. If you don't have that idea that you can use it, you can get your job delegated to this, then you will not be using. But it saves a lot of time and it gives you much more information than these browser searches. So just to give you an idea, so you guys heard of perplexity.ai?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
we
yeah,
are using it.
yeah, yeah, you're using it. It's
Yes,
freely available on
yes.
Airtel connections, right?
It will
So
give
these
the quick
guys,
response as
yeah,
compared to
uh,
other generative AI
yeah,
tools.
yeah.
So it is very famous.
And yeah, and these guys, they have launched a browser called Comet.
Comet. I'm using the Comet
Yeah,
also.
yeah. So now you see, they have launched a browser to use to take you to all the searches. So earlier, everyone's default was Google. Yeah, probably Google, right? Now you have Comet, and Comet does all these searches. They do all the intelligent searches. They don't do the normal semantic search, right? They do the intelligent searches, right? So you get a different output altogether. And that's how the usage also and the awareness also is being going to change. Or that's an example of how the things are going to evolve over a period of time. The browsers are also going to evolve over a period of time, right? Yeah, yeah.
Sir, just we recently talk about the mobile phones, and we will discuss about how it works and how AI perform their crucial role in that way. But my question is that there are so many phones or latest mobile phones which comes with the inbuilt AI features.
Yeah.
So, what is your perspective on that? Because what do you think? It is good or something else? What is your perspective?
So there are many things, so organizations, so you should understand the rationale behind these features. So if Apple, so I have Apple, so Apple is have this Apple Intelligence, it normally comes with that, right? And it is not only the search, but some of the features also have these intelligence, yeah, when you're using, other than Siri and everything, right? So one aspect is the organization, they want to take those things to the lowest level to the users. Yeah. So ease of use that we mentioned. Yeah. Behind the scene, there will be a data center which will be processing your this Siri request. I don't know, in America or somewhere, right? Maybe in some ocean, right? But uh, a simple person who's sitting, say, in Jabalpur, maybe a farmer in Jabalpur, if he knows the power of it, yeah, yeah, can get a really great information on that, can be very much aware on that, especially when they are getting multilingual. They can understand different languages, right? That's one part of it, right? These organizations, they gain because they're capturing the data. And with that data, they can improve their, features, they can improve their usage, coverage, and the features they provide across the board, right? They just need data for that, right? But as an end user, if I don't care about, if I'm not so panicky about talking about, really private affairs on my phone, it's a great help, great help. But taking it to the right people is possible only, if you have a tool to give them. And I think phone is now the cheapest possible source that even and anyone can afford. Laptop people cannot afford, right? Still costly, yeah. They don't see a value in it, yeah, because it can do only one thing, right? But phone, they can do the payments, yeah, they can talk to people, yeah, they can get messages. And if this gets coupled with this power of AI intelligence, where they get a lot of great answers, great awareness, it's something really great for them. Yeah, so the way I see it, like the one revolution that happened was Geo thing, where Geo made the mobile phone available to each and every category of the, Indian, everyone had that phone, yeah. Beyond that, nobody, it was thought to be a luxury. Yeah. I got my first phone, I think, in 2000 or somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. But at that time, cost of the phones were really, something like very expensive. Yeah. But with the Geo, you get this phone from 500 rupees or something. Yeah. It was available. You can use stuff like that. Yeah. So that made at least every stratum of the population to get access to connectivity. Yeah, so connectivity can happen physically when you create these roads, when you create this infrastructure, connect the cities, lower cities, create the transportation, stuff like that. Or nowadays, very fast with digital connectivity. Yeah, because nowadays, if you have digital connectivity, people are doing remote jobs from any part of the world. Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, because you are able to give that connectivity to them, so they're able to deliver in that period of time. Yeah? So you are well connected with some, it's perfectly fine. You're getting the job done. So the connectivity is very important, and connectivity is enabled by these devices and the network, which is again, again investment question, but these are really important topics. And it is so there is a very interesting implementation of AI in these areas as well, where they're improving the availability of network, based on the load and stuff like that. They're also working a great deal on that.
Yes, sir, we are getting your point.
Yeah, so the point is, if you can take a concept to masses, yeah, that is the most important thing. If you have a concept, yeah, and that concept works only for a certain category of people who are your customer segment, right? It is fine, yeah, it's fine, yeah. But if you have a really great concept which can work for a really big masses, it can bring really transformative changes for a large group of people. Yeah. It is not only for a particular segment of people. That's what this guy JRD Tata, sorry, Tata tried to do with this launching of Nano because he saw there's a really big masses who are not being able to afford a car. So he wanted to do that by getting that small car concept in India. Yeah. So nowadays, anyways, the cars are much easier, affordable by most of the people. But the idea was to bring that concept to masses. Yeah. And that happened with Geo thing. Everyone got the phone. And now, because everyone has phone, the connectivity is now available because the network is very easily available. Everywhere you have Geos, Airtel, stuff like that. The connectivity is accessible. So these companies, they know that connectivity is easily available. The phones are easily available to the people. So why not give them this AI tools where they get well connected and they get well crafted answers to their questions.
Got understand.
Any questions you have on how you guys might be using in your career going forward in your corporate jobs or something like that?
So
For
actually,
current scenario or for current need, we are just working on the generative AI.
Okay.
But let's see what will be happens in the future. But for now, we are just using the generative AI only.
Hmm.
That's it.
So my take on that is, so as I mentioned earlier as well, generative AI is a very small part of the entire AI umbrella. Just remember that, right? Why I am mentioning that is, if you are really interested in building a career in this AI domain itself, yeah, other than just using the tools, yeah, then you should learn certain areas. You should dig deeper into those areas. Yeah. But if you want to pursue a career in other areas, but you want to use the AI tools, then it is good to be conversant with the tools that we just mentioned, right? It is fine, yeah. But building these tools or building these deeper experience is totally different skill set which might be needed, yeah. Where you have these data engineering experts, where you have these data scientists, all those different areas which are deep into artificial intelligence, not only using these tools, right? Yeah, Abhay, go on.
uh, sir, as you said that there are a lot of tools, lots of AIs are in the market. What do you often use? Like, what is your
Okay,
favorite AI you use to generate or something?
okay, okay. So I use most of these tools because I keep on exploring their usage patterns. Yeah. So, for example, ChatGPT, for example, Gemini, because I have that in Apple Intelligence because I am using Apple phone. I also use Perplexity, as I mentioned, and I sometimes get very different results compared to ChatGPT when I do a lot of researches. Yeah. I have used one of the tool which I really like, which is Anaconda. It's for coding
Yeah, it's for
Yes,
and
Python,
for
I think.
Python native.
Python.
Python, yeah, coding, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And it gives you access to different models. You can configure different models if you want to use, and you can do prompt coding. You can do assistance coding in that, and it gives you really great results. Well, to the extent you can actually create your applications POCs in a matter of hours. So it's really great.
Yeah.
So but one thing as a developer you must understand is if these tools are going to give you these facilities, creating the code, yeah, and creating these and everything, yeah. So as a developer, in a hurry or in order to prove a point like I'm faster with this tool and stuff like that, you will forget the big picture. Yeah, the big picture is if how these components fit together to create an application, which is normally known as the architecture of the application. Yeah. So the architecture of the application is very important, and unless how my architecture or my application as a whole will scale, how will it perform? Yeah, you won't be able to do justice to your job as a developer as well, right? So if you are supposed to develop, say, integration components, yeah, for example, multiple applications you want to integrate your application with, right? Using HTTP APIs and stuff like that. So unless you know what should be the architecture of my, integration component, which should be generic enough to talk to any of the HTTP APIs, right? You will be creating different ways of integration using these tools, and maybe, creating a mess of itself. So that knowledge is still I'm able to figure out, where we are actually understand the complete perspective while doing the smaller parts of the job. So that is very important. Yeah. So even if you're doing the smaller uh, development, yeah, make sure how it conforms and add value to the bigger picture of the entire application. It is not going against the, the tenets or the governance framework of my bigger application, because this can also relate to a lot of security risks. There can be a lot of problems. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just giving you hints. So these applications are making it easier for you to do coding, yeah. But unless you have a perspective of a bigger perspective of how an application should perform, how secure it should be, that it should not be hacked, yeah. So you won't be able to create that kind of quality code in there. You will be just able to complete it faster. But enterprise wide, we need lot of good code. A good code is called which is scalable, which has security built in, right? Which conforms to the bigger picture, right? So that is also the game, right? So that is what I say. As you grow, these tools probably will get into these areas as well. They will tell you over a period of time that how the component you develop is good with these areas that you identified: security, scalability, conformance to the entire framework. Yeah. So all the non-functional requirements basically, right? So, but they will get smarter. As of now, they are working on it, and they will get a lot smarter on that. So, it is going to converge for sure, but it will take some time. So these are the, the coverage-wise tools where they will increase their services going forward. And also we should remember, these tools, they're getting you into the habit of using it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is their rational, right? So there is a
Actually, they are
model
like
called freemium model. Yeah, you understand the freemium model, Spotify model, the 3 months free, and then they will put you on some kind of a slab and, subscription model, right?
right,
So they want all these companies to get used to it, and once everyone is used to it, the developers, they will say, okay, why should I do the job? Use my mind on that. I'll write a prompt and say, okay, do it for me. There's an agent to deploy the code. There's an agent to do the testing and stuff like that, right? So that will also happen, where these companies will say, okay, you will have to pay these many bucks for to use these agents and stuff like that. That will be also the case. Yeah. So there will be the things that you will see in the future. As of now, also, you have to pay certain rates to use code assist or stuff like that. Yeah. But these will give you a lot of more options going forward, and you will have to pay for it. Yeah. Yeah, Vanshika.
Right. So, my question is certainly in the broader aspect. So, I have, as I mentioned, that I am working very closely with the students and everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So, in my past experience, also, I've been, interacting very much with the students. So,
Yeah.
I have realized that not only students, but the professionals are now, very much worried that AI is going to
Yeah.
replace their jobs.
Yeah.
Right. So, since we
Yeah.
are actually talking around that topic, so I would really like to know that what are your views on that? Is it really going to happen, or is it going to be a friend who is actually helping you? Because,
Yeah.
now you see in the organizations like Wipro, TCS, companies,
Yeah.
MNCs, companies are also laying off a lot.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that AI is a very, crucial part of that layoff as well. So I would really like to know your view on that.
Okay. So I will give you a bigger perspective on what I think on it. So we definitely see TCS doing retrenchment of 20,000, someone else, Wipro. So what we should also know, what kind of jobs were these? Yeah. Or what we should also know, is it a regular feature of them Earlier they were doing silently, and now there is a press release for that. But we should know all that information, yeah, before we take a call on that. Other thing that we should know is Accenture has decided to put 4 point some billion dollars in creating AI infrastructure,
Mm.
which is
Yeah.
more than the increment in the annual revenue of all Indian IT services together for this year. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So just think about that. So companies will also invest, but in new areas. And who will develop those areas? Yeah.
Right.
So what I think uh, our level of awareness has to improve. Yeah. Earlier we are in India, most of the IT services company, they are considered to do some kind of maintenance work or maintain these applications for big companies, yeah, and all that. And they're doing that for, I think, I know so much period of time, right? So that kind of work will definitely go down. Yeah, because there is a better way of doing it. There is an easier way of doing it. There is, earlier, for example, just to give an example, say there is an infrastructure where there are a lot of servers, yeah,
Mm.
and these servers need to be maintained by an infrastructure team of 50 people, yeah, for example, yeah. This is a big cluster, right? So now with these artificial intelligence tools who are monitoring the network or monitoring, the pilferage and stuff like that at runtime, they can, yeah. So you see, there will be agents will be deployed to see if there is a flicker in the network, if there is a flicker in something else, and take the load accordingly, balance the load automatically from server A to server B. Yeah. So
Mm.
earlier people used to go and make changes in the config files of the server. Now they can just do that automatically.
Right. There's some internet issue from his end.
Yes, Vanshika, I think the they will stuck, I think.
Yeah.
It's going great. It's going great, ma'am.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, it is vast knowledge on the topic. I think it's really going great for you guys. We should have more such sessions for the other
Yeah,
students as well. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, we lost you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something happened. Again, we were talking about network and something happened in. So my point is our level of awareness will increase,
Mm.
and I'm sure there might be some time in between where you see this thing going down, the traditional jobs going down, but at the same time, I see companies will be investing in AI and
Mm.
their products will be enriched by AI. They will add
Mm.
features of AI in their products. Each and every products will have some kind of AI thing in. You'll see that, right?
Mm.
And that will be the way they will drive the investment again. But the kind of work that we'll be doing will be totally different. It will be mostly on these AI related technologies, either using them or either maybe developing them. I don't know. So
Right.
this will change. And the normal jobs that you see, where when I say normal, say the traditional jobs mostly,
Mm.
where a very simple task which needs to be done with accuracy is been achieved by a model with a similar accuracy. So that's also a thing that we should consider, guys. AI doesn't give you 100% guarantee of performing the same thing. Yeah, that's also a problem. Yeah.
Do that.
Nobody
Yeah.
mentions that, right? It's a probability. It's all gives you probability that 80% success rate, 70% success rate, and whatever, right? So that is also be kept in mind. If something say is critical, like doing a surgery, yeah, you
Right.
can't risk your life on that, or doing a rocket launch, yeah, doing something else, yeah, you will be say, okay, minimum of that and maximum of manual. But so it has to be a balance. I see the balance would be there. Currently the balance is tilts towards more of manual and less of AI. And I think this balance is something which is forcing the manual getting lower and AI getting increased. So that, but the best balance would definitely be 50-50, most probably. But the level of awareness will change. The kind of work that we are doing should change,
Mm.
will change, and the way we normally do the work will change. Whether it's development, testing, it will change for sure. So, and you mentioned you were working with students for
Yes.
teaching them some courses or something like that?
I'm more into training and,
Training, right?
yeah,
Okay.
right.
So the training itself will go through a disruptive change, I'm telling you. So
Agreed.
these
Yes.
platforms like that you have, all the platforms, they're
Mhm.
already planning big time on including AI in that. And you know, as of now, also I can create some right away in 10 minutes, some kind of training modules or something,
Right.
what I ever want, right? So these are going through a big change. And I believe, there will be a trend, maybe sooner or they're already started, micro learning trend, where you will see these Twitters for learning something.
Right.
Okay, it will be in your
Yes.
hands. So, and again, if you want to learn something in your hand, and something which is mostly accessible in your hand is phone, and phone which is available to even the grassroots levels, and with the power of AI, now available with the power of AI and internet. Earlier it was only internet. Now you have
Right.
internet plus AI. So the
Yeah.
kids who, so I grew up where there was no internet in that area. I'm really old, right? So
Yeah.
and I used to prepare for my these Java certifications. I remember 90s, something like that, 97, 98, something, where I used to go to these cafes run by Sifi, and
Right.
pathetic internet speed, and I was trying these mock exams, Java exams, and I was like, what will happen after one day, 1 hour of something. It was really painful, yeah. Even when I
Right.
went to my college, the speed was pathetic, yeah. There was
Hmm.
no. Now if you want to learn something, you just have put in a prompt, keep on improving it, and you can prepare for your exam in less time, I would say.
It has become so much
Yeah,
feasible for
yeah,
these
yeah,
this
yeah.
generation, especially.
And
Yeah.
especially for
So
the instructors, it will be great, because
yeah.
they can bring that information to the students, which was not possible. So if I am asked to create a module, I have so much good information that I can actually filter out and bring the most relevant of that to my students. Earlier, I would just stick to my textbook, or something which I found on the first response from Google, and say, okay, let's use that. Why to
Yeah.
waste time? Yeah. But now in
Yes.
10 minutes, I can do the same with much better content and giving
Right.
best of best to my students. Yeah.
Mm. But as we all know that everything is in your hand, right? Let's take only for training perspective. Then I do have my phone. If I want to learn something new, I do not need a trainer, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So not only for training, but in a broader aspect for all the job positions or profiles. So what do you think? Like, what skills or mindsets do you think will make somebody, or be it any professional or student trying to make their career, make them future proof? Because if you think that, do you really think that we should go on more advanced level because it is going to take a little extra time for that? Or how what skills and mindsets we should have, one should have?
So, can you repeat it? Because I didn't get it. So, what skills and should have
Mind
for
why,
what?
what skills or mindsets do you think will make somebody future proof,
Oh,
either
okay.
for
Oh,
making
yeah.
their careers or
Yeah.
making your career much more
Right.
defined and all,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Correct. So it's one thing, so normally if you put that question in ChatGPT, so ChatGPT probably will give you that same answer, because it's the most searched question all over the world, and most of the people, whether they're leaders, whether they are, beginners, everyone goes for that. What should I do to future-proof myself, and what, all that. Yeah. So I think
Right.
the most important thing is growth mindset, and it's a complex term, but it is very simple to understand. Like, even if you have started at point one, always start looking for a pathway to point two, point three, point four. So when I say these points, this is a journey. Yeah. So,
Right.
and also another recommendation would be, don't look at your career as designations. It doesn't
Right.
help. Yeah. So developer to senior developer to blah blah blah, whatever, right? It is nonsense, total nonsense. So how better a developer you can be, it only you knows, right? So first
Right.
of all, create a outlook of that, like I want to be a better developer, or I want to, why I want to, what as a developer as of now, that I don't know, and that I should know in 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know architecture, right? I don't know the non-functional thing, how I build them in the application. Yeah. So I should know that in 2 years to become a better developer, right? To create a better application. Yeah. So once you start evaluating yourself at that level, and you relieve yourself from the burden of these designations which are provided by the organizations, you are much freer, and you feel much lighter, and you're much, like, exploration mind. Say, okay, now my next milestone would be to learn this,
Got
and
it.
defining that is one important thing. So the important thing here is, as a person, including me, yeah, including me, yeah. So we always have a very, short-term view of our journey. Yeah,
Correct.
maybe 6 months, 1 year. Right? We cannot look beyond that. Yeah, unless we have someone who can mentor us, who can give us that vision. Oh, you
Right.
can be there in 10 years. Oh, you can be there in 20 years. Yeah. So having that kind of a support system, a mentoring system, is very important. That really helps. Yeah, it helps you explore your abilities, explore your areas that you don't know about. Yeah. So that's what I feel, and that's my opinion. So when you define that journey, and if you have a mentor, if you don't have, get one, yeah, will give you that perspective, the long term perspective, then you will be able to define your career in much more, clearer way, rather than getting stuck to these designations, which is a bogus. Yeah.
Right. Agreed to that. Totally agree to that. Okay. Yes. Atharva, you had a question.
Yes. So my question is, so do you have any real-time example where you seen that, yes, AI has solved this problem at a national level? I'm
Mm,
asking and
mm.
thinking about apart from the jobs, apart from the study material and all. So do you
Right, right.
have any kind of real-time example to explore that? So please.
Right, right. So there will not be one example, but I think there will be many examples where AI is solving these problems and will solve those problems. Yeah, I'll give you some basic things that I see as an individual, right? So we normally go to these when we travel within a city, right? Yeah, you travel within a city, every 100 meters, 200 meters, you have a traffic red light. You have a traffic light, right? Yeah. And it starts with some counter, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and it is different for different people. Yeah. So here it is 30 seconds, here it is 120 seconds. Yeah. Here it is 20 seconds, 30 seconds, right? And as of now, I see this is all manual. The traffic people are setting that in the software and say, okay, this will be 20, and it remains 20. Even it is a Sunday, it will remain 120. For the people, they have to suffer. So people are working on this, where this will be driven by AI, measuring in real time the load on the each side of the road to see what is the actual traffic, based on whatever KPIs they will see in collection of data and all that. They can put in sensors and stuff like that, and then they will calibrate it accordingly. It will not need any human to intervene it unless they switch it off. So in India, it's everything is possible. Uh, but I think if you Google it, you will easily find such applications across the world. And it is a very scalable model, and it saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of fuel, and it's ease of use because people don't get unnecessarily bogged down because bigger red lights and stuff like that, right? And also, uh, Google is already using it. Yeah, Google Maps is already using it heavily. It gives you real-time information. Don't follow this route. There is a landslide there, or stuff like that. Avoid this, road closures, stuff like that. So you can accordingly adjust your speed of the car. It also gives you knowledge on what should be the speed of the car on this road based on which part of the city you are driving in. But this is just one of that. Across the world, banks are using very heavily AI to detect these fraudulent transactions. Yeah, they have a big departments of risk and fraud detection. Yeah, fraud detection, I would say, which use this data. I can let you know. So there was an interesting thing. Yeah, data. The first point that I made. Yeah, so there was a credit card which got stolen. Yeah, and and mostly the credit card was shopped for buying a bottle of wine and some diapers. Yeah, there was a pattern on that. Yeah, and out some month it was used to buy, a bottle of wine and something else, necklace or something. Yeah, it was, and that got flagged in the fraud detection system because of the normal pattern got exploited. I'm just giving you an example of that. It was mentioned in one of the magazines here. So these are some of the patterns where we don't even know that they've been used. So now the biggest example is, Airtel. So they have included the spam detection in the network itself. It's all that pattern base. So you already get whether the message is a spam or not. You get a call a spam or not. So they're doing it earlier. It was not. It was done by something. You need to use Truecaller or something like that. Huh? So
Yeah.
that feature has been included in the network implementation itself to check the pattern and see whether this is going this way or that way or whatever is. So they can do these classifiers and say, okay, classify it as spam or something like that. Yeah. You use this emails. So Gmail is using to classify your mails as spams. Yeah, simple. So you have this classifier agreement. This okay. These are the components which matches the spam. Put it in the spam folder. Yeah. So there are millions examples. Just have to go through that and see. Okay, which one matters and which one. There are many that we are already using, but we don't know that it's been driven by AI in some sense because we get used to it. So it's a pattern. Yeah, it's a human behavior. When you get used to something, it's normal for you.
Right. So do you think that AI will eventually become what word should I use? Co-leader, yes. Do you really think AI will eventually become a co-leader in businesses or some kind of organizations or something?
So I don't think so. So I think AI will be a very good sparring partner or assistant, and it should remain like that, and it should advocate you on different aspects of the things that you're working on. It should advise you to make your decision making better. Yeah. So as a developer also,
Right.
as a business leader also, I should have and I should use it to make my decisions better, to make my stuff better. I think that's where the value of AI is. Otherwise, it will be like a Star Wars movie where AI will become the leader and they will start running the country. So it will always and should be an assistant and yeah, and helping hand, I would say, other words. And but the balance will definitely change for sure because there is a reason for that because the way we have been working traditionally in especially IT industry in India, it's more manual and less automated, and it's always been manual more. Yeah. So it will go down, and there will be a balance that you see between manual and AI, and that balance will remain. Yeah, I think. But because the nature of work should change over a period of time, it will not
So
remain the same.
right. So it is still gonna be in human hands. Right.
I think, yes,
Yeah.
because ingenuity and creativity is something which you cannot take out of a human mind, and it should be there in human minds always. These tools should always be there to make our lives better, the make the quality of the things that we make better, the decisions we make better. That should be the purpose, and that is actually the purpose of these tools, whatever it's saying. So there is a very big sector which does only research. Yeah. Gartner, yeah, they publish this report which is very expensive, around $2,000 or $3,000 they sell for, which companies in a particular segments are doing better, and they put in a star segment and this segment, that segment, right? So they are, so just think about them, as a customer, people were, used to earlier read magazines and say, okay, there's a article from Gartner, let's read that and say, okay, oh, this tool is really good, great because of this and blah blah, because they are doing a lot of that, right? So now they will have to reinvent their models. Yeah, because as a customer, I
Right.
know I can easily see, okay, which one actually did what and what not in the period of time. I can actually check that the authenticity of their research and stuff like that. So things will change for many reasons. So these things are, uh, they're also shaping this is also an important point. Yeah, these tools are also shaping the way we think.
Right.
It's very important.
Correct.
So logically, they might be, in a direction, to some aspect, they might make us weaker. That is also a possibility. They might make you weaker because earlier, if I have to write a code, to create something, I will do a small sketch of algorithm. I will put in some data sets, what should be the probable inputs, what should be probable outputs. Then I will write what could be the error conditions that can happen that I need to take care of. So all that process I was going through, to write a code, small piece of code, right? Then I was going through a whole lot of work to test that code, to make it robust, to think about all the functional, non-functional things that should be included in it, right? But now, if I have assistance in hand, I'll say, okay, I will grab a cup of coffee and it will do the work for me. Yeah. It will do all the
Yeah.
heavy loading for me. Yeah? I'll just give it my expectation. So that's where, over a period of time, it is a very high possibility that heavy reliance on these tools can weaken our logical reasoning for sure. Because if you see it in comparison to the social media apps, right? Yeah. So like Instagram, right? So nobody knew of Instagram, right? 10 years ago, right? But now
Right.
everyone knows about Instagram, and most of the times, whenever you are free, your mind goes to Instagram and you start scrolling. What
Yeah.
is this? So they have taken the most important thing of out of your life, that is your time. Just think about that. Nobody realizes that, that the most important thing earlier, what we used to do, we used to plan our day, and I'm talking about myself. Okay, there's a Sunday, Saturday. Okay, what I'll do is maybe I'll go for a cup of coffee, maybe I'll go for buying some books, maybe I'll meet some friends. I used to plan my day like that and go with my, daughters here and then I'll go for run, stuff like that. Now, if I'm sitting idle even for a minute, okay, I get lost in those reels for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and sipping coffee again. And I'm, have lost the importance of time totally. Then these
Agree.
tools, they are so addictive and they have very well designed business model that within your scrolling, they will start advertising,
Right.
giving
And
you
actually,
offers.
yeah. And actually, Instagram has also included the auto scrolling
Yeah,
functionality
yeah,
in it.
yeah. It will do it for you.
You don't have to scroll now. Just open the
Oh my God.
Instagram and it will
So,
do everything for you.
yeah, exactly. So just think about that. And within that, you won't even realize, they will say, okay, you're scrolling reels and oh, you might be, they capture your data. Yeah. Immediately they create a profile for you. The kind of reels you like more and, like them or, scroll more. And they know who is this person.
Yeah.
The moment they know who is this person, they start sending you offers. They start sending you those advertisements that you might need this product, you might need that product. There is a discount here, there is a discount there, there is something like that, and all of they want to do is they want to capture the market, right? As a lowest level, as a demo, and you don't even realize that.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
recently I would like to share one thing as well. Recently, I was just going through my Instagram, and then sometimes I feel very captured towards astrology as well. So there was a person who was actually giving prompts on how to get
yeah.
your chart or something out of Chat GPT, and he
Oh
was
my
giving
God.
exact prompts as well.
Yeah,
So I should not have, but I did try
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. But
yeah,
and it has given a lot of details about my personality as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it is kind of
yeah,
dangerous as well.
yeah, yeah. So they know
As,
it. Yeah. As you keep on doing, they know it. They capture that. That's again data. And then there's an
Yeah.
algorithm, AI algorithm already doing the work for it to categorize you as one of the users and as one of the consumers. What kind of preferences? They build a persona for you, and based on that, they send all the advertisement offers to you, and they keep on doing that. So the nudge will work, and you will say, okay, I'll do this. And over a period of time, the problem is you won't even realize that you're doing it. You're just doing it. And
Yes.
why are you doing it? I'm just doing it. I don't have anything else to do. I'm doing it. So that is, if we compare it to the same thing that I was saying earlier, Once you get used to these tools over a period of time, there is a high risk and probability of the logical risk going down because you don't know how to use your brain.
True that.
You will never use it. Yeah. Because the tools will say, I will do the requirements for you, I will do this for you, I will do everything for you. You see, I will just check it whether all the steps are there or not, and it might do it, right? So there is a possible risk and scenario, I don't know, maybe 5 years down the line, where the tools are so much in our life that won't be using our brain to say,
That
okay,
is so true.
so this is a high possibility. So at the moment, there is a study also going on, how much of the exposure of this thing should be given to the kids. So I have two kids, and what should be the extent to teach them how much of GPTs they should know, because it's a much bigger risk, because kids, they develop their cognitive skills, while working in the school, when they're being in homework, writing skills, stuff like that, they're given projects to go and research, understand the area and stuff like that. So if you expose them more, the cognitive skills will stop at that point
Correct.
only. So 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 everything has to be understood. So what I also see at this point of time, on a policy level or industry level, there will be a lot of governance models that will come into play, as and when these tools and technologies get stronger. There will be a lot of governance will be in play, where they're applicable, where they're not applicable. They will be governed. If you let them loose, they will be really pathetic. They will ruin your life. So you have to be in, so humble suggestion to you is, you have to be in charge of your life.
Right.
Even though I also try it very hard to sick myself. So what I do is I delete Instagram for weeks. It's out of my phone.
Yeah.
So when there's no application, you can't get anything notification, and you're totally out. Yeah. So that's the way I try to intercept it. Yeah, because otherwise you get into this and you forget what are you doing, what are your priorities. So other suggestions to you guys would be, get into a habit of reading. Yeah, so buy books, hard printing books, and read them. That is a very good exercise for your brain, for your understanding, for your vocabulary. It gives you a perspective. It's really great. Uh, and so that is a very good habit to it, and create a milestone for you. If I am in marketing, I am in IT, I'm following this thing, what books I should be reading. Yeah, what is my target to complete 5 books, 4 books in this area, so that I know this area. That is one thing, right? Along with that, if you think there are some good training courses by some really good people, attend them. Yeah. So it's all about adding more values to you while you're doing your job, right? So that is the way you can grow yourself. Don't get stuck to the designations or positions, but the value that you can do. Yeah, the while doing the same job, if you can improve yourself in some other areas, learning different things, that is your actual growth. And that is actually, this nutshell, everything is growth mindset when you are planning ahead. And mentors really help. Sorry. So that's another point to be included. You get a mentor in your area, in your field, and he will give you a long-term vision, and you can design your journey at your pace.
Got it. So, do you guys have any other questions to ask?
Yes, Vanshika, I have final question, and this question is in the future perspective. And so, what you think in the upcoming 5 years, which AI is going to advance itself in the specific sector in 100%? Is there any specific sector where you think that AI is going to advance itself in 100%, where no human interference is there?
So, so already, I would say it already advanced into such areas. It's not a future, it's already been done. When you talk about manufacturing, so
Hmm.
there are some plants where everything is done by AI. It's already there. It's all automation and AI. Everything is there, where there's hardly a human presence. You have these warehouses run by Amazon, where they've been, or you see those videos, where the robots are taking the orders and they are giving it to the dispatch and putting it in the stacks. They have been managed by robots already. And but the idea here is, so they're already doing a lot of such things. Yeah, I'm just telling we. So there's another thing that you should know is we in India don't know much what's happening in the world because of the less exposure or our exposure to the limited things that we see around us. Yeah. So if I put you, if you say by chance you get a chance to get some work in Europe from tomorrow, and you get you get in one of the cities in Germany, or you start seeing those things immediately. Say, oh, this is happening. Oh, come on, the traffic thing that you will see immediately happening there, right? I'm just telling you. And so you see, oh, the things are happening. So we are living in an era where the things will come much slower at a delayed pace. Maybe what has already been running in US or Germany or maybe Finland or Norway, you will see here coming in 3 years. That to some part, maybe in metro cities, may not never see in the B towns. I'm sure about it, yeah, because there's a lot of complexity of the politics. You see, yeah, we are federal, but the complexity goes down to the ground level. Actually to the neta who's at the round, whether to take that or not. He will say no, this is against this and then, and he will not never implement it, even it is value for you. But coming back to your point, manufacturing is a big time, I would say, and it's already happening, but it will be even faster, even better. It is healthcare. You see, it's going to be a big time change because healthcare is going to be the biggest winner of AI. Where diagnosis of a disease and creation of these medicines, because that is the most time consuming thing ever. So now they have created a systems, where they are capturing the data. Collaborations are happening between companies, hospitals, and and they are using this data to faster the diagnosis of cancer, staging them, and then also synthesizing these outputs with the chemical combination of the drugs for the treatment. So what chemical drugs in what compositions could create what kind of impact? Just a simple model you can create with the data and say what is the efficacy of this, 80%, 20%, 30%. But that happens so fast now. So you will see a big change in the healthcare industry for sure. Manufacturing, healthcare, IT, you already know it's happening. We are in the process of churning, right? So things will start changing a lot in these areas, but in nutshell, each and every area will be impacted because uh, everywhere, you have this technology which can improve things in one way or the other, right? Yeah, but these are the things that I see where things will immediately, you will say, there will be a faster, you will be able to see them quite fast. And there are some, you can Google it already. You just Google about John Deere. John Deere is one of the agriculture
Manufacturing,
and
yes.
IT company. Yeah, just go and see their videos. The big time. So it also depends upon the companies which are investing big
And
time running
also
this.
Tesla is also launching fully
Tesla.
automation.
Yeah, you know that.
Yes, in
Yeah.
their manufacturing plants.
So the humanless cars already there, right? Humanless trucks are there. China is big time there. So it's all happening at the same time, and we don't know it because of our limited exposure of things. The more exposure you get, so my suggestion again would be, Vanshika, and your server team can be, the if you can get these exposure to your students from bringing people from different areas of the world who are working in different domains, that will be awesome because then they can give you, okay, uh, transportation, what changes are happening, manufacturing, what changes are happening. Yeah, so it will be that exposure which people normally don't get because of these big boundaries. Yeah. That can be a big concept breaker, where our assumptions are whether we question it, whether it is possible or not, and they're doing it. That kind of change
Yeah.
is there. Come on. So that's a change, yeah, that needs to happen so fast in us as well. That's what I called awareness.
Right. Okay. So, Abhay, do you have any question, final question, or you are
Uh,
fine with it?
I am done with the questions because sir has given already my answers in that because sir is also from the web development background, so
Right.
he gave all
So
the
you guys
questions.
must have very interactive. I've seen it. So this is one of the most interactive sessions in which that. Yeah, and thank you, Roli. Thank you so much for sharing those powerful insights. I think today we all are walking away with a clearer picture.
Great,
Right.
great, great,
And
great.
as students and as professionals, I believe that it's on us to stay curious. We'll have
Yes.
to keep learning and use these tools responsibly and that too creatively.
Yeah, yeah.
So and on behalf of everyone here, thank you once again for your time and for inspiring us to see the future not as something to fear, but something to
Yeah.
build.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So thanks a lot for this session. And my only so when I was talking to Anil, so my only thing is, the sessions are really good, if the participants can take even a single takeaway from it, that I have learned something, even a single, value addition is there that can drive some kind of small change. It's a value for me. Yeah. Because if I am investing time, it's a value for me. If you have learned even a single thing, yeah, that's a big value for me. Yeah, investing my time
Yes.
in such sessions.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agreed. Agreed.
great.
We would like to
Uh,
have definitely more sessions like that.
sure, sure,
Okay.
sure, sure.
And I think
Definitely.
we will connect with you personally. Anshul or me, anyone would connect with you
Sure,
personally
sure,
for setting up the next interactive session
sure.
with you. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you. Thanks a lot,
Thank you so
guys. Have a
much,
nice
Inwish,
weekend.
sir. It's
Bye, bye.
really nice having you
Bye.
here. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope it was effective enough for you as well.
Yes,
I believe
Vanshika,
the
we get
session was
a
really
lot of
nice.
insights from this. Yes,
And actually,
Sorry?
it was actually
we
it was
got
a
a
great
lot of
session.
insights from this. Not a
Right,
single insight, but
right.
lots of insights
Lots of
regarding to the
insights, sir.
generative AI, then prompt engineering. We will discuss about the frameworks in the AI. Then we will discuss about the multiple AI tools, which are going to very good in the future. So there are lots of things we all already discussed with the so.
Great that you have got a lot of things to learn and that you have also realized that you have to be more creative and not completely depend on AI. I think we can pass it on to other students as well. There should be an experience sharing
Because
session of you guys as well.
this session is
Yeah,
very interacting because the topic is also interesting
The
and
AI.
it comes under our domain.
definitely,
So that's why
definitely.
it goes to very good
Uh,
manner.
Okay, sure. So we'll connect back later and thank you so much for your time as well.
okay, man.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure.
Bye.
Thank
Enjoy
you
the
so
weekend.
much. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye, Vanshika. Take care.
Bye. You too.